Alright, shall we all recite the refuge and generating bodhicitta verse on page 7 of the prayer text together? Sangye che dang tso ge chao nam la chang zhu bar du da ni gyab su chi da ge jin so ge bei cao nam ge zhu la pen cher sangye zhu bar shu Sangye che dang tso ge chao nam la chang zhu bar du da ni gyab su chi da ge jin so ge bei cao nam ge zhu la pen cher sangye zhu bar shu Sangye che dang tso ge chao nam la chang zhu bar du da ni gyab su chi da ge jin so ge bei cao nam ge zhu la pen cher sangye zhu bar shu.
The Daring Devajin da Dakshin Liki Gyugi Kola and Shueche.
Today we'll talk about the causes that we need to cultivate in order to be reborn in Pureland.
Chidan Tanda Dakshin Liki Bichu and Dinanone Devajin Liki Bichu, the Negi Chebe Nalola. And Dodan, Ta Sanji Sung Dodan Gu, Jonga Judujan Lola, and Mitawa Tintis Sunyori.
So generally, when you talk about the causes to be reborn in Pure Land, and specifically in this case, Sukhavati, in the sutras that I've seen, the Buddha has spoken about 15 to 16 causes that we need to cultivate.
Then Namji Mangche Hagwe Nalone, Tawame Komeda. And Ubaming Tsenga Chang, Tindichebaina, and Devachin Gigres, that the Juchig you.
So usually, most of us already know that by meditating on Buddha, by meditating on Amitabha Buddha and by reciting his name, that will be a cause for us to be reborn in Sukhavati.
Tina Shin Sigi Sung Rinbushdoa, or Digi Pen Nalole Sungdi and Dejuche Tichebaina, and Devachin Gigres, Tindisungsha.
Similarly, by reciting on the long mantra of Avalokiteshvara, that will also be a cause for us to be reborn.
And
this is also said in one of the benefits of reciting Om Mani Padme Hum.
Then Namjin the Yonda Shinda Carrier or Trolma, Tremengi Gunalo Le, Trolmala, and Pagechacho Tichine and Devajin Tigris Tisonere. So,
in some of the tantric texts, in relation to Tara, it has also been said that by making offerings to Tara and visualizing Tara, that is a cause for us to be reborn.
Dinashinta Tochi Nalola, and Danda Tejin Sojon Nima Chigne, Tatawa Chikbodu Tasusu Lene. Tindi Lenche, Tewajin to Chindu Yuding Zuki, and Sanji Mela Yitsen Tu. And Ila Chebaina, the Vajin Chiris, Tindisundo.
So, in one particular sutra, it is said that if you take the Techen Sojong vows for the Mahayana precepts for 1 month, then and if you have the aspiration to be reborn in Sukhavati, by listening or by hearing to the name of Medicine Buddha and recalling Medicine Buddha in your mind, that will be a cause for you to be reborn in Sukhavati as well. So the Buddha has spoken about many causes that we can do to cultivate, and these are causes that is within our ability to cultivate. So if one were to say that a person like us is not possible to take rebirth in Sukhavati, then that is kind of wrong.
That dinner Shinjigi and Sanjigi Mington or the Tatuslandir dinner Shin Tandata Wanzuki Shishingi Do Nitina Lola Ani Dodila Tuson Gomson Chebaina, Shishingita, Dole Tuson Gomson Chebaina, and a Chisuyan and a Sanji Mutubola Sobe Sanjiki, and a Trune and the Tugres, in the Sungsha.
Sangi Michuba Trune?
Tugres, Chisu. that's it. The shirting to some was a chebayina. Ikiwachemane. Sanji Mitubala Soviet, Sanji to Zukundini, Tegris.
So just similarly, it has been said in the wisdom, Perfection of Wisdom, Prajna Paramita Sutra, 20,000 verses. In that, the 20,000 verses Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, it has been said that by listening, contemplating and meditating on this sutra, in your future life, you will be able to see Akshobhya Buddha.
Dinashin go taiba number joy dos ejar, and tojiore. Dinalola, and Chanju Senda, Tony Ma Sungje, and Dilla, and Tuzon comes in Chebaina, and the Chisuya, and the Tinsheba Tseba Meda, and the Tinsheba Eva Meda, Digi di Jenduyena, JJ, Digi di Kundin Chushu, Tinti Debayena, Dinila loves, what in the Soyer.
So similarly, in the sutra called the in the sutra on the teaching of clearing the boundless gates, it has been stated. So in this particular sutra, it has been taught. Teachings on bodhicitta and emptiness has been expounded in this sutra. And similarly, in this sutra, it is said that for a person who has got the desire to meet with Amitabha Buddha, then he or she should train in this two, which is bodhicitta and the view of emptiness, and then you will be able to see the Buddhas and also see Amitabha Buddha and receive teaching from him.
다 단다 산지 미주비 신금기도 나로라 짐바땅 짐이퍼를 심발라 딜레 때네 엔 산지 미주비 신금기 버주지심 와 제바이나 대야 주인스 디나신 수줌 세바 전지 차장라 소요 진짜 디 링제 땅바이나 먼저기 기와 가르쳐바이네 기와디체 기와디네 신금대다 telongona 안디 신금텔레 기비 주차주어 레사주어 다 간제로.
So similarly, in the Akshobhya Buddha Sutra, it is said that if you practice generosity, and after practicing generosity, you dedicate the virtues arising from your practice of generosity for you to be reborn in Abhirati, that will be a cause for you to be reborn there. So similarly, for the practice of observing your morality, your forbearance, etc., they will also by dedicating the virtues from your practice to be reborn in Abhirati, that will be a cause for you to be reborn there. So if we can use the same logic, then we can infer that whatever virtues that we commit or we have done, and we dedicate it to be reborn in the Buddha land that we have desire on, then that will be a cause for us to be reborn there.
다 디제두잖에 다 개체와디 가르선다 가상기디 지와디 원나 디낭로네 규칙 수주제 디체나 당마 되어진을 찌그리슬로 되어진 되는 디기를 위해서나 디테스 디기메 버터버래.
So what is more important here then is, just like yesterday, there was one question. If I were to just, of all these causes that's been spoken, if I were to just cultivate one particular causes of the many causes that's been spoken, and then I think I will be reborn in Sugavati, and by thinking that, I kind of relax and say, yeah, I will be reborn there. So is this okay? Unfortunately, it's not.
당원수기 시버전을 참아샤와제 기와디 주도도다 백일 렌제기 남샤기 토네 심주지지 폐제다 자지 저주구주 끼그레 세지기 딘지지 소토바이나 아니 신의 딩스는 때 강라강섬지 리고르바.
So by cultivating on just one cause, we can say it is possible for us to be reborn there. But if we do not just want, or we are not contented with just the mere possibility of being able to be reborn there, but what we want is that by understanding the presentation on the law of karma and effect, we want to have the kind of confidence. We want to create the 99% for us to be reborn there. That is what we should be looking at.
어따 디 계제디 셰발라 따 디기 토네는 주저디 셰발라 닐라 인케와 렌시디 케와디 컨디스 링고르 치니치도 저 케와 렌디 디셰나 안 딜레실레 샤비 토네 따 딘디치 구구도 세야지 저버치 두고.
So if that is the case, then what we need to do now is to prepare ourselves. We need to understand the way we take rebirth. How do we take rebirth from one rebirth to the next rebirth? Using this understanding as a basis, then we ask ourselves, what do we need to do?
Ta penata arine shije michi ene arine shije te Singapore gi michi le keba ina ke siduta kharesina phage gi semdi phage subudi yuni subudi da khajewi chela tanda da Singapore le yebi ta phame gi khuta gi yusu semdi chu chu gorwa tele leb tele chu an tidan chelwa cha khuta dida dila an ke walens tanye jabare.
Take for example, if a man were to die in America, then after his death, he actually is born in Singapore. So what happens is that when he is in America, he will be abandoning, throwing away the body that he has, and then his consciousness will then be coming into Singapore to meet with the parents who are residing in Singapore and entering into the fertilized eggs of the parents and having that kind of connection with the parents. So this is what we call taking rebirth.
Ta dito la shimju dan dil kebu ta she dijuyo mare tortuji tiwe su de ticheba ina chesan ta phage namshe di Singapore gi ta khuda ki uile le di pena ki wanga chi thing hindu zo tharing bo ne phage lungba shinda le keba thing de mo yong do ta khandar di le di ta khandes le bare gyumi keme le ba ina ani dele le shinda la male ba kharcheres ti tiwa di le ngorwa.
In order to research into this topic, we do not have time today to talk in details, but I shall just briefly touch on this. So basically, the consciousness from America will be coming over to Singapore to have the kind of connection with the parents, specifically in this case a fertilized egg. So why does it come and how does it come? Is it because there is no cause, no condition that has allowed him to come here? If the fact that the consciousness is coming here is not a result of cause and condition, then the question to us is, why does it come here and not elsewhere?
Ta kunjogi ani phage gi namshi di sulle ani Singapore ge khudana lu shares wa tindis lawa ina.
What if you say it is the creator God who has taken the consciousness from America and bring it to Singapore?
Yangjo diwa da re kunjo ge kharjin di ani Singapore ge lu bare kharjin tunjola ma lu bare shandala ma lu bare yangjo diwa de di.
Then the same question will arise. Why is it the creator God why does the creator God bring the consciousness here? Why does it not bring the consciousness into an animal's body? And why does it not bring the consciousness to elsewhere?
And pagani shidro sege pungbo dine zeji gi ani Singapore la bija japshares. And till to urbe. Yana mena Singapore gi phamagi ta khuda gi ze dibachine ani ari namshi de chu thenre lab to urbe. Yana dulchen da lung da shinda ji namshi de chu khiyonje Singapore di khuda yose de ke share lab to urbe. Tizo changma lo chirdane dishi jab thu marela ani kisi dishi jaba ine yanju jiwa de rajale de. Kharjini shinda la mache baji dil chebare seyegi taki jiwa de rajale de.
So can we say that it is because, after death, a certain material or ingredient of your 5 aggregates push the consciousness to this direction? Can we say that? Or can we say that it is the parents, the fertilized egg here, the sperm and the fertilized egg here is pulling the consciousness from there to here? Or can we say that it is other kind of elements, the natural elements like the wind, that is bringing the consciousness here? Generally, it's very difficult for us to explain if we were to go through that kind of thought process. And even if we can explain, then the same question will arise. Why here and not elsewhere?
Ta dila anen ta nambe shungne tishi kare kyarasena tindi pansu le di tum gyuche di en dechadang ta leni gi jigo res ta direda.
So in this case, what is being stated in the Buddhist scriptures is that For the consciousness to come from there to here, it is a result of two factors, karma and attachment or desire.
다 되자다 레기 내가 간다시고 그랬어. 다 겨와디 두슬래라. 디에신 고거다.
So how do these two factors, attachment and karma, what kind of work do they do such that the consciousness is being such that the consciousness travels from there to here? So this is what we need to understand in terms of the presentation of karma.
디지두자네다 미두 스칼리 런나니 시둥인 딘디나 다 페이지 레디 조르고다 칼리 치네로와 세디기다 밀레체 단다기와디 레디 칼리 조 조니다 머시즈네 교와체메 레디 레가지 고조응거 다 생기팅도 유비니버디야 센 디기 게임베 아니 가리용거레스나 디바 하장 첨부 제딩이 리지라 시가라모 신나 사보기 나와셔야다 출니 나와셔야다 딘디 용거야 단다 먼저 모신베 나로라 시자라레 지 데스 심지 소주기 레가지 딩이지 아니 시가라모 출난딘디 샤네 다 심진딘디 동가 용거도스 파피로지 스케제네 수딘디 중샤 간드레얀다 딘디 직자기 나와셔야다 딘디 송레.
So in this case, if a man or a human being were to die slowly, we can say that because he is approaching death, therefore his karma to be a human in this life is slowly finishing also. And just before he dies, then the karma of his future life, that's when it will start making its round, making its work. And for a person who has committed a lot of great negativities, that is when, at the point of his death or when he's near death, he will see a lot of appearances which are very fearful that are appearing to him in his mind. Like for example, in the South India Tibetan settlement, I have an acquaintance, so during his lifetime, he actually engages in work that involves killing or harming sentient beings, the animals. So when he is near death, what he sees is that a lot of animals are coming to him, shouting, screaming, and very fearful appearances that he's seeing just before he dies.
다 미기와 야부 제딩이 벽에 수노 첨부 제딩에 디버시라 마징이 뒤서 아니 시가라모들라 아니 기회레디야타 단다디 조제 기와디 티치윤서야 나와 상부딘이 셔야다 흘려지니 시에다 딘디 시가라모 흘려차야 딘디 시기여.
For a person who has done a lot of virtuous deeds, where then he would have a lot of merits and less negativities. So at the point of his death, then that's when the virtuous karma will be arising, and he will be seeing appearances that are very noble, that are very nice, and he will then have a very slow and comfortable death at the point of his death.
다 디체니 아니 레디 고조 응어로하다 되차디기 다 시가라모 가서 미페바 폐젤라다 마페사 송 삼바치 폐젤라디 용구열.
So this explains that the karma is starting to work, starting to take its toll on us. And if we have attachment in our lifetime, that's when, at the point of death, for most of us, normal beings like us, the kind of thoughts that will come to us is, I've done something really wrong.
디지디자네 마페사용 가슴은 있을라나 아제다 키면데 다야 망다서 간제 디 가르레스나 디 삼로나라 딘지기 데스감다다 신나용에 디사와 가르스나 류리 차바차데르다.
Okay, anyway, so why do we have such fearful appearances coming to us at the point of death? It is due to the attachment we have to our body.
진짜 류리 차바 디왕기 아니 시위체라 남시디 타루치 참무디네 양어서다 니체번의 신치니 아니 야 수지 야 가슴원도 줄을 온데잖아 류리 퇴스네다 당원도 줄온데다 버도세데 좀니 버도기 류 참무지 주고 버도기 류 참무디 용해디 켄디 되기 류리 차바디.
So under the influence of the attachment we have for our body, when our consciousness become very subtle, it will come to a state it's as though we are sleeping. And then subsequently, this very subtle, sleep-like consciousness will become active, conscious again, and then that's where then we will again adopt a body, and that's where we'll go to the Bardo state. The body the form or the body that we take in the Bardo state is actually very subtle as well. But the cause for us to take this body at the Bardo state is really because of the attachment we have for our body previously.
Tene Bardo le chawi chela ta phage tanda khuta yusaj yorwa o dila ani chi khashela ina da susugi teba yebe khangba jibu jabu tene linga jibu tene chulni nawa tene shargor ta phage dila.
So when we are in the state of Bardo, then where your parents' sperm and eggs will be, then that's where, under the influence of our attachment or desire, we will see the appearance of a very happy or joyful house or a garden.
That di chulchuwe di simgi ting du yubi ledi ki chebare.
Why do we have such a manifestation of the kind of happy appearances to us? This is because of the work of the karma.
That chulwi chela pa chugorwa simdi. Chohe di tucha di ki chere. Tucha mena pa chugomar.
So after we have these appearances, then what we want to do is we want to go over there, right? Because you see I have very happy, very joyful appearances. Then we want to go there. And what is it that causes us to want to go there? It is the attachment that we have.
Ta phage le sawi chela namshe da kuta ni di chu ta chelwa cha sina mendu ta char sina mendu ningsam char lagdo chu char devi charji gi chedi ya ledi gi chigor.
So once we have reached there, so we have reached where the sperm and the eggs are. We can say we are being attached. The consciousness is being attached to the sperm or the egg. What is causing us to attach? That we need something, some ingredient or material to attach the consciousness with the sperm and the egg. That again is the work of the karma.
Marang tanda phame khuta di gile chiwanga me namshi di chu charni charji di wangi tanda ta ne de ta charji di tamenda rami susu la phage karsa zoe gi di khashel lo ngap chu khashel lo tuk chu charji ni ba chi chung tamenda yara ta chi si di ni ba di ma zo bo do ta di kaso ni ba di wangi tanda ta di nge lu dan semi di nyam do le ga che de tin cha de legi le ga che dan de 대단냠도 말한기 되차디기 왕기 다 최대제 매사에 칼라사에 다 디마시에 된다 어디서 되차기 제인 거라 다 되차다 레기 숭제기 톤에 도스치는 내디고다.
Take myself as for example. So my consciousness from my previous life would have come over to the sperm and the fertilized eggs of my mother and my parents, and then there will be this special ingredient or material to attach my consciousness to the fertilized eggs. And under the influence of this material, till today, I'm still alive. Different people have different kind of sticky, the material to attach your consciousness to the fertilized egg, and that will give you the lifespan. So as long as the ability of that material is still around, your mind and your body will still be attached together. The two will not be separated. So some people, they can live to the age of 50. So that is under the influence of this attachment material. And then of course, in this life, then I have the attachment and desire to my body, and therefore I will take medicine, I will eat good food so as to not die early. So you can see that attachment and karma, they are working together in union with one another.
다 디나 신지기 시갈라무 되샤디 왕기 베나다 시갈라무들라 아니 다 가지라고 그래 캬니 다 시에 딘디나 삼레나로라 다 제여서지 야나 메드지 딘디지기 나와션 딘디지 레나 삼베다 디 되샤디 슈침블레기로 지사 디기 제여서지를 발레기다 샤르기와 제마디 티조에기 되샤디 왕기.
So at the point of death, under the influence of attachment or a desire, sometimes a person will feel cold at the point of death. And therefore in your mind, you wish to go to a place that is warm or a place where there is fire. And this attachment will become stronger and stronger to want to go to a place that is warm and with fire. And then this will then bring you to a place in your future life where there is warmth and where there is fire.
제사 디지디 디되버디기 시갈라모 되버디기 다시 레기 어레 되버디기다 레가 슈침부치기요 인상 에시 베나다 시갈라모 가시고레 디 베제나를 요레 다기 디 베제나 요레 도나를 요레 디나시 도나로라다 베나 미시갈라모다 칼라 사니모조 규메랑 다 딘지 우주제로 하장기 우주만 보제도 칼라 세디 암졸라 마테버지 중나스 얘기 데리되버 슈침부제나 아니 사해투의 명이 철다 깨줘야 인가요. 지금 네발 따기 지고 와레스.
The attachment or desire we have at the point of death is very strong. It has a very strong impact on us. And therefore, it is written in a lot of the sutras and a lot of commentaries and scriptures that for a person who at the point of death, if he doesn't have the appetite to eat, and if the family members were to insist on him eating something, then he may have this thought that crosses in mind like, if only I don't hear such insistence on wanting me to eat. Because he has such thoughts in his mind, then there is this risk that he may be reborn in a place where he will not get any food or drink. Therefore, for a person who is, at the brink of death, it is important to, with skillful means, and decide what to do depending on the person's situation.
단다 기왕하면 쟁해낭로라 카시기 되바디 젠딩인데 용대도 다 강시 가시고 시간라면 되바들 들어 메도 삼바지 슝네 시에바나 신지 메도 삼바다버지 베나 단다 별을 기왕하면 쟁해지 아니 견하네 용인 별을 내가 쟁딩이지 아니 타코 마 로주긴이라네 아니 다 내가 두서 주til지 로주긴 스틴디지 갑라 아니 로버도디 답진 중제 종네 아니 코라 조부 배바지기 남미를 깨도 다기왕하면 쟁거래 낭디 나나 민디 시고래 차상 워싱거래 조부도서 아니 나를 대운디 띵에 낭 말이 라고래 근데 다 뭐시 되거다 기지 시신스 갈라 제선다 파마기 님지 다케 아니 띵낭 말에 가서 파마 말에서 쭉 가르치네 엔데 요인스 근데 진짜 시시다면서 로실라도 마 말랭가 요인스 근데라도 말네 말랭가 요인스 진짜 계제 딜라바디 디레 당은 주쳐버 제바이나 거기 로줄레 시니 딩외라 벽이 다야 서티기 말 어디 고아기 좀 셔줘 또또 딘지여 자나초라야 디시부지 가르서다 가보다 자심지기 있어라 디지디 저보디기 캬나로 저딩이 디마르디 마테워스 라비스레 진짜 디디다 루주나로 여바체 다 딜레 실레시는 건 저기 다 쳐보 제바이나 슝네 숨바다 페제 코디 모저답지 중니 모저나로 용비 갑라 다 다른 저보드 살아 머디 랭아 저거 셈비 카두들 아니 답지 중인기르다 디겐베 되버디 이제 저베나를 깨줘야지
For those people who actually have the ability to recall their past lives, sometimes they can even recall the kind of desire or attachment they have at the point of death. This has also been stated in the scriptures. So there is an example where there is in Tibetan, he went to China for some work, and then On his way from China back to Tibet, he met with an accident suddenly and passed away. And he took rebirth in a friend's home, in a friend's family. And because he can recall his past life, so he could recall his previous life's name, the home where he stayed, and the parents of his previous life. And very often he will say, "This is not my home. This is not my family. You are not my parents," when he was at the friend's home. So the parents of this lifetime, right, they asked him, "If you keep saying this is not your home and we are not your parents, why do you even come here?" Then he said, the answer was, "I came for the purpose of barter." Why? So if we look into his history, this is what happened. And also in Tibet, we all know yak, right? There is a female version of yak which we call tea, right? And from tea, we get the butter. So, and in Tibet, there are many people who drink the butter from tea in a way of like make it into water, and so they drink it. And many people like it, and even in China, many people like it as well. So this particular friend, right, have told him, when you go to China and come back, I will give you the butter. So this is very clear on what has been happened. Based on this, we can make the inference that this is what happened subsequently. So on the way back from China to Tibet, he met with a mortal accident. And what was in his mind when he was traveling from China to Tibet, it could be this: "Oh, I'm now going back and I'm going to my friend's place to get the butter that he had promised me." So at that point, he met with the accident and he passed away. And because of that attachment or desire to the butter, he was reborn in the friend's family.
저의 고구도 다 차부 고구도 선비딜라 차니 시바이나 되샤디기 다 차부 요사질 레기 레가 지고와 다 대단 냠도 레디 디고 침보요나 다 찬예레제 찬예다 찬예니 능로네 찬예레제기 디차주고다.
At the point of death, if a person has a desire for warmth, wanting to go to a warm place, and that's where this attachment or desire will be working its magic to bring the consciousness to a place where there is warmth. And for those people, if they have committed many negative deeds and therefore have a lot of sins, then they will be brought to the hot hells. You know, in the hells, we have the hot hells and the cold hells. So he would be brought to the hot hells.
다 든줄레제기 레요나 아니 차웰룽베 든줄레제 다 밀레제기 레요나 차월룽베기 밀레제 어딘데지네 되샤기 레가 제당당 레기 레가 제당 수수도.
And if the person has got the karma to be reborn as an animal, then he will be reborn in a place where it is very warm. Reborn as an animal in a country or in a place it is very warm. And if the person has a karma to be born as a human being, then he will be reborn in a place or country which is very hot.
다 디릭바 자르바이나 시갈라마 아니 산지 제나 선비 삼레토네 레바이나 아니 산지 유세기 다 룽발레기 게기 데르와 침부도 다 이네 다 디부 하장 슈침부제 로 인송레 게기 레 하장 슈침부제 되바디 아니 시갈라마데 산지 제나다나 지제나 다 산지 유세기 딘드딘드레 게시
cái là nghiên số là cái lấy sự chân bộ chế, nhỉ?
되바디 시갈라마 되바디 다 산지 요살리케나 스틴데기 디요나
디제라
산지 요세기 다 딘드르버 딘디지 시기로다.
So if we were to use this logic, at the point of death, if you have the great desire to see the Buddha, then you could be brought to the place where Buddha is existing. But if you have the karma to be reborn as an animal, then you could be reborn as an animal in a place where the Buddha is.
이네디 다기기 리바시 송진능에 라바레마토 지단단다 도기 단다 렌제이 남샤송시기 망부지라 시갈라모 산지 데니시나 다 페제 개와직 된조를 땡케버저버드는 순고도 직전에 시간을 뭐 산지 템버디기 되차기 되벨레가 장장 많이 버체 디진기 아니 겨울럽 친구 사투고 알아. 어떤지기 레이당 안 되버니가기 레가 디지고였어. 시간을 뭐 산지 템투 바이나. 딘디이나 직전에 bai chaba ingir tenrole che.
For the logic that I've just said early on is really just my own personal opinion, but it has also been said in the scriptures that at the point of death, if one can recall the Buddha, then at least for one rebirth, it is confirmed that he or she will be born in the higher states of realm, higher states of rebirth. So this is the working of, this is how desire attachment work. And if in addition to this person has also committed or done a lot of good deeds and therefore accumulated a lot of virtues, then under the workings of both karma and also desire attachment, then we can almost say that it is definite that he or she will be born in the higher states of birth.
That the shops at teacher, Tina, Tango. And 대화진 레제기 레지사 대화진 레제기 되버지게 로아 다 디니기 토네 다 세디 주도 대만타도 대화진 온솔 레 망보여와 냐와레제 레위다레제 레요레 점불링딜 밀레제 레요레 튼돌레제 레 답에 하자 망보여레 다 디외베 능로네 다 세단다 가시고레 디네 시비 주도 대만타도 대화진도 제얘기 레디를 고급라얘기 다 답시 땅고 버다 아니 신에 아니 디주도들라 대화진도 제 첩스레 기제 내용으로.
So if we have the karma to be reborn in Sukhavati and we can generate the desire to be reborn there, under these two factors, at the end of this life, we can probably get reborn in Sukhavati. But we have accumulated many different types of karma. Karma that will bring us to the hell realm, karma that will bring us to the hungry ghost realm, karma that will bring us to the human realm, and karma that will bring us to the animal realm. So of all this karma, what we need to do is that we need to, at the end of our life, immediately for us to be reborn in Sukhavati, we need to get that karma that will bring us to Sukhavati immediately after our death to get working. We need to try all methods we have to get that karma to do its work. Only then we can say that it is definite that we will be reborn in Sukhavati.
That dilla ngi donang le chema song ani lebi ingi gi song nang lo la ani khare song sha sana le mangbo yebe nang lo ne khani dinge la ani mingires lega chigres na ani chugo sasho dinge la lega chigres ti song do.
Well, I've not seen it in the sutra before, but I've seen it in the works by Vasubandhu, where he has said that of all the many karmas have accumulated, which one will come first at the point of death? He said that the karma that is the heaviest will ripen first.
아니 지고 치준 지고 이나 아니 가르치기랬으디 안 시간을 못들라 강 디단 딱 개와이나 미개와이나 강다 슈쳐 문도 줄와 어딜응에라 쇠답적으로스.
So if the karmas are of the same weight, then which one will come? What will be the second factor to consider? Whether it is virtuous or non-virtuous karma, the karma that will manifest first at the time of death, that will be the one that will bring us to our next life.
다 대한 직보이나 아니 시간을 가자 거리 공지쳐요 딜응에라 쇠답적으로스.
And if these two are the same again, then whichever that you are more predominantly habitual to, that will be the one that ripens first.
뒤에 직보이나 아니 거닝에라 사요나 딩에라 민주레스 디도.
And if again they are the same, then whatever you have created first, the karma that you've created first, will be the karma that will ripen first.
다 디지디잖아 다 디실라 샤베 토네 다 가서 가르쳐 올세나 대화진도 게 레지사 레디베 톱 첨부 쉬우지 사야 탑시지 제오다.
So, and if this is the case, then what we need to do is that we need to accumulate the karma to be reborn in Sukhavati, but we need to do it such that that karma to be reborn there is very strong. It is with great strength.
다 디방님은 사차와 교왕아만의 사차와 요래 제들 사차와 요래 다 양조사주 디게디 슉다 충루다 얘기 답시 당올다.
And for the negativities that we committed in this life, in future lives, what we need to do is to diminish the strength of this negative karma.
단뒤에 뒤에 댕케바면은 다 댕케바 마중배 삼네 시바이나 개치조디 다 시갈 아무들 개치무 차줄 림바니바 들어와 시갈 아무들 수수기에 배순시 로벌레가 다 간지 시갈 아무는 수 기회심지 기베토네 시 얘기 답시지 다 답시 니바디 차줄.
So if this is still not confirmation enough, then what is important is step 2, which is at the point of death, we need to try our best to arise the virtuous mind in our mind, or we can ask our friends, to try to help us to bring to our thoughts all the virtuous thoughts that we have.
진짜 디기 토네 기지 셰바이나 가시기 딘디지기도 수수변의 균도 시다 추념네 시다 마싱이제 다 산지 외밤에이나 다 재미나로 수쳐여러 외밤에 고모 외밤에 생활장 딘디지기는 다 싫어 제대전에 아니 라마 자친부들이 딘디 쉬제 내가기 딘디당 동니당 딘디 셰지 디콤셔 디지 디 용해거려 요말에 성부진의 리보 중부여도 용마 통해지 시간 남은 용해 요말에 진짜 시간 남은 남샤 균도네 수수 개와 가리 지기에네 다가랑 제바이나 kumdi yuwangi ane nasa yoba yine lo salwa meba yine namju kumdi di yuwangi yaga le thugurwa.
So some have said that there are people who have practiced, Dharma, but perhaps not too well. But in any case, they would be meditating on Amitabha Buddha and reciting Amitabha Buddha's name. But at the point of death, what happens is that they actually invite, the great lamas, the big lamas to come. And then those lamas will be telling them about Tantra, telling them about emptiness, and all sorts of things. This is a method that is not possible to be done. Why? Because even when the person is alive, this person is not accepting such practices, that at the point of death, this person will not accept it as well. So what would be good is that at the point of death, to do exactly what the person has been doing while he or she is alive. Because he or she has familiarity with what he has done while he's alive. And with that familiarity, that would be a better option for him.
가시기 다 디네당 데스 이치 용이 딘데게 아니 수련이 인생 딘데 시조도 다 산제기 천장쇼 산제 검쇼 레드네 레더레디 라고레 디레 이네 내당라 따네 파조기 내백이 남줄 안티 강지 차네 따지 코승부마 용해지 제거르마도 민나사 땅 섬노 땅마도 디카도들 양양 제쇼레데 아니 시 타티 먹어라 제나스레데 베디 버절로르 다 상기 균이 메살라 산지시비 자거르 마테슬레 기에닝가요 진짜 로봇 제발레 지나 신고다.
There are people who have got some faith in the Buddhism, and therefore, for the sake of the relatives, or for the sake of the relatives or friends who are dying, they will give them advice such as, please, recite the Buddha's name, meditate on the Buddha. Yes, it is good, but we also need to look at a specific individual's situation as well. Because we need to look at the expressions that the patient is having and then decide what is the best method for him. So if you insist that he must do this, and then, it is not receptive to him, and in addition, due to his sickness, you're asking me to do all this, so he may get irritated. And then because you keep saying, do this, do this, do this, do this, because he's so irritated, then he may think, oh no, please don't ask me to meditate on this anymore. And by having this thought, what could happen is that in his future life, he'll be reborn in a place where there's no Buddha or Dharma. So it will be worse for him, right? So we need to be skillful and know when and how to help our friends.
제쇼 라디 콜 니슈지 레고라 딜레 나메지기 토네 마랑스 나편지 시기 원나시 아니 산제 밤에 chen 라로 시레츠 라샤나 Koran lo le char tungin ji na di gen jin char ru wa. Tima chirang gom sho la na nen shu ji le ni di gi cham chang da gyun chi do.
Sometimes we say, you should do. When we speak in such a strong way, there is some kind of pressure for the recipient. So perhaps what we can do is just, in a very normal way, just say, oh, the name of Amitabha Buddha. It's just like we are talking to him without giving him the pressure. So that could be better.
Oh, that karsa legi tone ta diche. Ta ore ta di indu ta le di chugo chabu soegi kanje dibodi la ta koga marae gi dichi du dibodi shuchung ro dango du shuchung ro kanjes dango re dilaba ina ta dila ani shaba che di kichere ta shaba che la na se dibota bi ta mongbo yorwa kandeji bi chugi ne cheche marsabe dibodi ani nimbu topshi chamyu ko ne shaba khasu che bi chegi dibodi gi shuchung ro do shagre.
So above I just talked about, how karma works. Now, so for those heavy karmas, the negative heavy karmas, what can we do to reduce their chance of ripening at the point of death? So therefore, it is important for us to do confession. We need to know how to do confession and to do it well. And one of the methods will be through the 4 powers, where we can purify the negativities that we've committed. By confessing, the strength of the negativities we've created will reduce. So the more we confess, the strength will be reduced more.
Ani kiwa chibi negasu katsu tudu gi kulong number taba. Ta che digi banjo longche da kanje tamnyen da tinji da manjebi tone. Katsu tudu gi jungna da simje tamjel mi bi chamniji kena kiwa chimbu shibu chadorwa. Katsu tudu gi kulong number taba che chebi negasu tse chigdu pa che. O dusine di cheba ina ani che sabi che la ani ngwa shu tabu che. Ani di che la yang du jisu irang che. Tinji cheba ina ani kiwa di top chimbu chadorwa.
And when we engage in virtuous activities, then we need to arise a very pure motivation before we engage in those activities. The motivation should be such that we are not doing this for the sake of fame, for the sake of material needs, for the sake of reputation. It is for the purpose of sentient beings. So to arise the kind of love and compassion we have for sentient beings, arise such a pure motivation before we engage in any virtuous deeds. And at the point of doing those virtuous deeds, then we should also try our best and work towards in that direction. And at the end of the virtuous deeds, then we should do very strong dedication of the merits that we have created. And again, we need to rejoice in our own merits and the merits of others.
Chezanta kiwada tikbadi top chejung di ta lamrim nal ta da sebo yongure. Kiwad kidi chesagi shingi tone top chejung joye. Kulongi tone top chijung joye, and dengi tone top chijung joye, and ngube tone top chijung joye sinim top chijung jodang xiyore.
Kunlong tangbo nipa.
Tangbo nipa de chegeyo mar.
Marime jisa xiyora kunlong
ani xing.
Okay. So depending on the strength of our virtues or the negativities we created, that will have a difference on us. So this has been very clearly stated in Lamrim, the stages of the path. You can take a look at it. In the stages of the path, Lamrim there are 4 causes that I've mentioned on how it can affect the strength of the virtues or the negativities that we create. So the first one will be the motivation. The second one will be the object to which you perform that virtuous deed or negative deed. And the third one will be the base that you have. And the fourth one will be the dedication of your virtuous deeds. Or
that shingi tone kiji sheba ina pena the legi number mi bito se de nanglo la kyacha na shin kosha jamne sunyore pena ta tunjuji le chimba tamba ina nami kya yong ani kasigure mi teba chimbo yo deba tindichi le ya chimba teba ina nami tong yong Any kilon chudinda demba dindela dicheva ina, any tiyone or dindigi pagi ya kosha jamni kasur chachata.
So in terms of the object or to whom we are committing that virtuous deeds, in this particular sutra, which talks about the ripening karma, percentages have been given to the person or the object to whom we perform those deeds. So it is said that if we were to practice giving to an animal, the kind of merits or the kind of results we get is 100%. And if we were to give something to a person who has got a great desire, then we get 1,000% of the results. And then if we give to a person who practices or observes his morality or precepts, then we get 10,000%.
Jezanta dile geni any susugi pama any che number daba susula shingi kiwishingi any dina shinji simjin neba nyamta gweme jame o digi dile cheba ina nami tseme bashigedu.
So other than this, then if we were to, offer help to our parents or to someone who really practices the Dharma, and like someone like our teacher, and to poor sentient beings, destitute sentient beings, or to sentient beings who are without protector, if we were to help all these sentient beings, then the effect or the ripening effect that we are accumulating is actually inconceivable.
Yundengi chane any pabi gangsa tajumba topsangi dindilaya ani dicheba ina ta chuba pyu dicheba ina dieta nami tseme basungre.
So similarly, for a person from the qualities that the person possesses, from that point, if we make offerings to an Arya being or to someone who has already attained arhatship, then the ripening effect will also be inconceivable.
Di yonghe di yang manzo pena shinga ina sabin tapse gi shinga di sabin chigba ine tapse shinga di la buddha toru guru da saja pidabo meba chila chokba da tindi yone kaje pidabo meba toru guru da tindi gi kye mangbo yode saji la di cheba ina yabu je thugo mar ta saja pidabo yoba chila phage taba ina yang pidabo je thuye tila babe din shin ani 타보 톱상에다 디게디 산제다 타보 톱상에다 디게디 되차다 시당라 수비 퀨퀨니 메바 센디 장무장자 차대로 봐줘디 진짜 딜라 아니 개와던 디보 사변 간지지 따바 이네 은미디 친구 용어 투에 용해 딘디 차주어.
For if we look at a farm, a piece of farmland, so if we were to plant a seed into the farmland, if that land is not good and it's not properly plowed, it's not clean, so what we can imagine is that the crops that we harvest from this land will not be good. But if the land is a very fertile land, has got all the conditions for it to give rise to good crops, then the crops that we can harvest from it will be very good. So similarly, for a person, if we were to make offerings to someone like the Buddha or someone who has attained liberation, that person, those type of people, they will be without faults. They would have very pure mind, and therefore on the faultless and pure minds on which we plant the seed of virtues, the ripening results will also be very good and inconceivable.
The dinner shinji penang also me in Bachiba in Mikashe Dindio, Koyena, that me Pepunta Mambola at the Yon de Ko Meba Chaba in a me Punta Mambola John Raya Dindio. Mikashe. 다 코메나 아니 코라미 찍더지 아니 코여바 이네 미신달라 펜토에 게메딩에 딘데 미임바 찍바래 이네 찍바 이네다 코던 젤니 미신달라 제로여바 인자 안 딘디기 미찍디 르네제바다 파게 미붐타몽불 제로여데비 미딜 르네제바체나 미붐타몽불 유비네 딜르네제나 디바체와 펜토나에 디 펜도체와 펜체와 디차고.
Similarly, if we look at some people, they may look like they are the same because they are human beings. While they are the same from the perspective of a human being, but there are some people, if they exist, they will actually have the effect on 100,000 people. And if such a person does not exist, then it will also have an effect on 100,000 people. So basically, this person has a kind of relationship with many, many people such that his existence can benefit many people. So for such a person, if we were to cause harm to him, it will also mean that we are causing harm to 100,000 people. If we can benefit such a person, it will also mean that we can benefit 100,000 people.
디지 뒤전에 디기 토네 계지시 온데 아니 전주 semba 오네지 있나 코랑기 류가 이다 밖에 겨와 가리유는 참은 타바네 신심지 탐지기 치도 뭐네 다 심지 탐지기 치도 이 뒤단의 송데다디 언제데 심지 탐지를 요 심지 탐지를 디기 펜바지해 모두 신메스 타 장마确定 된데 차대 어 딘지기 셈다 좀만 힘봐 닝 타바네 남게바네 디체네 아니 전주 semba 라그레라 민디 타이레라 된다라 딘지기 미디 딘지기 강사디 심지 탐지기 집에잘 차도르다디 딘지 인자 딜레 뇌바께나 심지 탐지를 뇌께버터 차도고 하래 딜레 펜다나 심지 탐지를 펜다버터 차도고 지선 디기 아니 전주 semba라야 펜네 제바이나 아니 기디 거리네 톱침부 시부지 용해야 돼 디레
Similarly, for a bodhisattva who has already dedicated his body, speech and mind and all his virtues for the purpose of accomplishing all sentient being purposes from the bottom of his heart, he has already dedicated all this to sentient beings. And he has said from this point on, it will be for sentient beings and nothing else. I will do whatever I can and nothing else. So for such a person who has got the unfabricated bodhicitta in his mind stream, we call him a bodhisattva. And for such a bodhisattva, he is actually something that belongs to all sentient beings because he has dedicated himself for the benefit of all sentient beings, right? And therefore, if we were to cause harm to such a bodhisattva, we will be causing harm to all sentient beings as well. And if we were to benefit such a bodhisattva, we will be benefiting all sentient beings as well. Therefore, whatever help that we render to a bodhisattva, the kind of virtues or the kind of negativities that we commit will have very, very great strength.
다 윤지즈 유몬선 빵댕이기 타버톱댕이 딜레 파게 딘지기 에네 신 톱침보이나 다 지바 탐제 빵댕이기 상제딜라 다 페네 제바이나 다 카트 거거지지기 다 톱침보 용구르다 디셰 먹어 차저와 돌드나 상제라다 추바피야다 디즈키와 톱침보 쉬우지 사투고 이네 이치 두고 말 이마체비 갱치 가르스나 상제 워싱가 말은 좀 망부지 대바침비 흉내 시비 상제의 점수는 신주여나 드시게 돼야 돼. 단다 태면의 투몽기 다 태면 가서라다 빨리 흉내 시비 상제 드시게 돼. 밖에 취미직 되겠지만도 요 말이. 다디 드시 딩은 좀 망치는 주고 저거 말에 디 신경 말와. 지금 먼저 상제 문진제에 제 레다 간제 춘 당겨 말다. 디 마다인자 안딜라 아니 추바피 디귀치디 시부지 편에 요래 레딩은 줄로를 숑도고 말.
So you can imagine for a person who has just generated bodhicitta in his mind stream, for such a person, and for a person who has already, attained liberation, from that point, for a person who has first generated bodhicitta in his mind stream, from then on to him becoming a Buddha, how does he go about doing that? And for a person who has already abandoned the afflictive emotions, and for a person who has abandoned all sorts of obscurations such as a Buddha, whatever we've done to them, can you imagine the kind of effect we are committing or we're accumulating? So anyhow, briefly, what I want to say is that when we make offerings to the Buddha, we are actually accumulating very strong virtues. But we do not believe that by the mere offering to Buddha, we can accumulate very strong virtues. Why? Why is it that we do not believe that? Because we don't really fully understand the qualities of Buddha and what Buddha means or what Buddha is. Like for example, in the sutra, sometimes in the Theravada sutras, they describe the qualities of the Buddha. We may not fully understand what the sutra is trying to tell us. And because we do not understand that, we do not fully understand what a Buddha is as well. So therefore, we do not understand that when we make offerings to the Buddha, or when we have faith in the Buddha and we have respect for the Buddha, it can give rise to results that are unimaginable. This is something that is beyond our imagination.
di ebame kom ebame la ani soata dindigi thone ani tewachin le chigres tina shisangi mela le tiche ni tewachin le chigir tagi chilai ma di sungdi jane ani condition ni dindi chigi en tewachin dindi yabuchi la khandiski to gures sine ani condition vitila ani sanji samji me chabares che samji me chabare kindi samji me chabare dindi inza tela an tebachi binami die samji me chabares di sungta.
For a person who meditates on Amitabha Buddha and supplicates to Amitabha Buddha, that will be the cause for him to be reborn in Sukhavati. Similarly, as I've mentioned earlier on, if you were to meditate on Medicine Buddha, that will also be a cause for you to be reborn in Sukhavati. Then the question may come, for a place like Sukhavati that is so good and perfect, how is it possible by doing that we can be reborn then? So the answer would be, because the Buddha has got inconceivable qualities. The Buddha is inconceivable, the Dharma is inconceivable, the Sangha is inconceivable. When you have faith for objects inconceivable as this, the ripening results will also be inconceivable.
Sanjigi cheju digidi repair tubingodo repair tub deachi namre lihu nibanal tubgar di ting du umin tawa de nembe tabche ani ripa tagaran khije umin tawa de na tel ni cheba ina ani tanda ta techingi shungne shebe ta sanji di repair tub tuye chagor cheju duso.
Basically, in the Theravada or in the Hieroglyphs, they have talked about the qualities or characteristics of the Buddha. Those characteristics can actually be established using logic and reasoning, and it has already been done so in the Pramana Vartika, chapter 2. If we were to use those logic and reasoning and add on to the view of, to add on using the Madhyamika's view, we can also we can also establish the qualities of the Buddha from the Mahayana perspective.
Ta jezang ta sanje la ani cha se shwa phu diso ta phin shwiji yede ba ti che ta di gang la tingin jing ge bi do nang lo ne ani khari sung yo de sena sanje chewa mangbo la kalba mangbe po do ta debis deba gi sim gi thone ani cheba yujin namba na choba jine phluba le jang ta sanje temba nyambi kabla ta tingsang cha de ta kali kali nyam rugo tinji gi kabla ani chudimna ji sungna an ti phe che ti sungyor chisa ti je de ngonje gi ani kimba ina ta kinyi gi domba le ani kinyi domba le ma thumge ina ta ti je sojong gi domba di lama chala char thangbo di lama chala shuna ni bo sumba lama chala shuwa marwa su gi ta tuji da tu ni ta rin domba sung thu sa re sembe kabla ani ti je sojong le di cheba ina ta dile jang ta labi ki hotop chimbu sathu gudo.
So if we were to prostrate, make offerings to the Buddha, we can actually accumulate a lot of merits. It has also been said in the King of the Concentration Sutra that if we were to have faith and make offerings, to billions of Buddhas, right? Compared to the merits accumulated from arising faith and offering to billions of Buddha, we will have more merits if we were to observe our precepts during the degenerating times. So today is the Dharma degenerating time, and therefore in this day, if you have the 5 precepts, and if you cannot take the 5 precepts, you can also take the Mahayana Sojong vows, which is a 1-day vows. So because the Mahayana Sojong vows, the first time you can take it from the Lama, but the subsequent times, if you want to take these vows again, you don't need to take the vows from the Lama, and therefore it means that you can do, or you can take the 1-day vows anytime you want, as many times as you want. So by doing so, we can actually accumulate very, very strong virtues.
Penata tomba me dingin chigi any chume da chuba pyungin chigi any chume jamso danyen beta kala orta marku di cheje chume pyo le jang tomba ye dingin chigi ta das chume tipja chungchung ji pyuna di sono chewa den sungu do chesan tengi tone ta kebor jugo chesan ta kiwa chebi kable phage ta kinyi tomba ye na kinyi tomba me dingin digi kiwa chewa di da chilon ta di chigbare di phage lelap chijung di kiwa chijung shibuji kebor jugo ane dina shinji gi tomba chema thungye ine kiwa chebi khadu de la tiju sojong tomba lembi thone cheba ina kiwa di shibuji phel jugo.
For a person who does not have any precepts, if that person offer light offerings that is as vast as the ocean, the kind of merits, compared to the kind of merits accumulated by this person, the merits accumulated by a person who has precepts, if he were to offer just one small light offering, the merits accumulated will be more. So this is what I mean by the difference of the basis, because the base of the person who is doing the virtuous deed, whether he has or he does not have the precepts, and therefore it is important, if you have and if you can take the 5 precepts. If you can't do that, then what you can do is that when you want to engage in virtuous activities, you can try to take the Techen Sojong vows, the Mahayana precepts, and engage in those activities. And in doing so, you can actually accumulate a lot of merits. So outwardly, we can see to other people, it may just be human being. There may be no difference. But because the difference of whether the person has got precepts or not, the kind of effects or the kind of results that the person is getting from engaging in the virtuous deeds will be very different.
Dina shinchigi nganzo miji la kange te dinge ji la ani midi ta nazar na dinge ji na ta nazar yang karla orta yang namena ta nazar kaya rungwa chi ta laba dabu jun shon nazar tujajin laba la nazar tujaj pon dine na dinge ji ta ningji ko laba nazar dine taro jina sambe sem shukchimbu ji ningji dine ji je yonde sono shibu saigor.
If a person has met with difficulty, say for example, a sick person, so it can be any person, right? And say this person's hand, due to some reason, the hand is not working or the hand is in some serious situation, then we may have the kind of compassion in us and say, oh, may he recover soon. So with that kind of compassion with us, that will give us that we are accumulating merits.
The so
if this is the case, then when we have the kind of compassion or the kind of desire for all sentient beings to be free from sufferings, can you imagine the kind of merits? The kind of merits we accumulate will be boundless. So, if you wish for all sentient beings to be free from headaches, then the merits that you accumulate will be also immeasurable.
If
this is the case, then when you wish for all sentient beings to be free from all sufferings, then again, the merits that you accumulate will also be immeasurable.
That dear any tarwa show Sabajama, Simje Tamje, Tunge Tamjel Tarwa, Nejigi, dear Nankama Segi Bodu Neje, and Negi Chetu, Simshu Digi Jevaina, 다 큐니 딜러 백이 체다 타 산지기 다가지레 랍투야민도 숭투야 요마로.
So if instead of just may them be liberated from all the sufferings, but we say, may they be liberated from all the sufferings, and I will take on the responsibility of liberating them from all sufferings. And as long as the space remains, I will do whatever I can to liberate them from all sufferings. With that kind of mental strength that we generate in our mind, so this is something that, is something that even the Buddha cannot measure.
수수 다신레 계고고요나 안딜레 계기다 개와 떡친부지 사고래 개와 떡친부 사야다 잠닝지 딘디지 검토바이나 떡친부 시부차루도.
So if we want to be reborn in Pure Land, we need to accumulate very strong virtuous karma. And therefore, if we were to meditate on compassion and bodhicitta, that will give us the very strong merits that we need.
람상다 용어 말데 곰곰곰체나 빠라빠라라데 게 고쪽으로 와 빠라빠라르게 야 빠라빠라마게 단요 곰곰체나 아니 야부게 용으로 와.
So this may not come immediately, but we have to start. We will have to start meditating on this. And when we start meditating on this, sometimes in our mind stream we have that kind of compassion. Sometimes it doesn't arise in our mind stream. Sometimes it has, sometimes it doesn't. But over time, in time to come, it will arise in our mind stream.
세상 먼저기 딕바 가지 사바이네 콘도 가지 사바이네 미치니 막나 따디기 합디기 미창마 세야더보다 딘지기 미 붐치 미 사야카시지 딘지질마도 딜레 게네 심제 탐제라니 콘도 페제 사마뉴어 더버레다 요 통마메바네 제상 딘디마 임바 디 도쇼기 닝타바네 심제 탐제를 펜버 줍세기 심제 닝타바네 게나 그 갑대 종민기 디버민도.
When we accumulate negativities, like for example, when we get angry we get angry at other people. Well, we can be angry with one or two people, or we can be angry with all the people from one country, or we can be angry with, say, 100,000 people. But usually, we are not angry with all sentient beings, right? So in view of that, the opposite direction is that from the depth of our heart, when we say we want to benefit sentient beings, we want to benefit all sentient beings, so you can see that kind of thoughts that we have of the merits accumulated from wanting to benefit all sentient beings, it does not have a similar opposing negativities that can stop it.
딘디기 도 성기 죄세에 도디낭로라 다 미기오 주 디낭로는 치리 체제 베나다 파마세나 다 띠부치무 시부지거와 디나신 타바탑 상인기다 자준바세나 띠부치무 지거라 세메레 딘디인디 파야히 자준바 힘바세바 오 딘디로 소비 띠부치무 주 정가점니 딘디 사상이지네 아니 최담지 정신이 매바딜라 아니 매바제니 이치제니 딜라 안 죽나 아니
Similarly, in this sutra, it's called the treasury of the Buddha Sutra. It has said that for a person, or rather, it has listed 10 very strong non-virtuous deeds, such as killing your father and mother. By killing our parents, actually we're committing great sins, and if we kill someone who has attained liberation, that is also a commitment of great sin. But in this sutra, it is said that for a person who has killed the parents, who has killed our heart, and if that person were to meditate on the lack of inherent existence of all dharma, of all phenomena, and to arise that kind of aspiration and belief in that all phenomena is lack of inherent existence, therefore this person, he will not be reborn in the lower realms.
chanchusemda toni dembe shungla tuzong gomsa cheba ina chi suyang sanje weba medang ane sanje mitrubo kundi ni tuyogre sinita dagi shuba di re tingzing kebe dona le di yore di yoba ane pake kye la ta dikba digi di ma shu chungru tang gugo re 슈충으로 땅에 디고 다해 들래 다 슈체쇼 점니지 고면다 돈이도 비시라고 매래도 다 파게 게라 소놈 똑침부 싸고 거래 딜레 슈체쇼 다 전 고매래 디진자 다신도 진데 유등이지나 다 디게기 레디 사야라 똑체쇼 디 탑시 약쇼디 점니 전주선다 돈이도 비시라고 매래래 이내 딜레 퉁문이 비주 다신레 제데 디게와디다 뭐거와 대화진 런원나 대화진 미주비신가 런원나 미주비신감라 깨루와 딘디 망원나 다야 믹스기 크게 대화진랑 라게 세계제디요 말와 디레마도 뭐디게 카주르마 주르제마도 제외차네 점니의 전주선의 돈이를 합에 다신레게 탑시신다 요말.
Earlier on, I've mentioned that if we were to meditate on compassion and bodhicitta, and also on the view of emptiness, one can see Amitabha Buddha. And it is also similarly stated in the King of Concentration Sutra. And in order to be reborn in the Pure Lands, we need to diminish the strength or reduce our negativities. And the methods for us to do that will be also, or rather the best methods for us to reduce our negativities will be meditating on compassion and bodhicitta, and also on the view of emptiness. And we need to accumulate a lot of merits to be reborn in the Pure Lands as well. And the best method for us to accumulate merits are also meditating on compassion, bodhicitta, and also view of emptiness. Therefore, you can see from here that for anyone who wants to be reborn in Pure Land, the kind of karma you need to accumulate, the best method to accumulate such a karma will be via meditating on compassion, bodhicitta, and the view of emptiness. So this is something that is common. It's a common cost that you're accumulating. But what makes a difference is your dedication. So if you dedicate whatever virtues and merits you have accumulated to be reborn in Abhirati or Sukhavati, then you'll be reborn then. But if you do not make the dedication to be reborn in the Pure Lands, then naturally you will not automatically be reborn in the Pure Land. So the dedication that you make at the end of your deeds, it will kind of like change the direction of where you will take your rebirth.
That digital that lady the Gazetibach, that dinner shinjigi, that Deba de la Kijashewar. Deba Karichawarsana, that the watching the Kiegi, what the watching the draw sembit Dimbachita, Kia Tabshichawar. That D in a D docho, that Kiwachima, that Shandal draw somebody that in the Pegi Yumari Kiwamachi killing it. Dojo Harrison, that Shigala Modella, that Nagi Namipe Sason, Napanjor de Petit songs, and that said the Chashin, you know, Yadiga that. 딜로 찌디기다 자신디 마제기 탑시 로아 시갈라모 아니 디기 도초기다 미딘초 찌디 자신디 충로 줘야 탑시다 아니 팀비 전에 다 대화진디 계획이 되버디 슈치로 땅에 탑시시고 거다.
So much for karma. Now I will talk on the desire. So what do we need to do in respect of the desire? We need to generate the aspiration to want to be reborn in Sukhavati. We need to employ certain methods to generate strong aspiration. So if we look at the opposite of being reborn in Sukhavati, so it is at the point of death. Sometimes we may have the kind of attachment to our family, the attachment to our belongings, to our material comforts. So what we need to do is we need to reduce the attachment that we have to the things that we have in this life. We must try not to let the kind of attachment to this life arise at the point of death. And at the same time, we need to increase the desire that we want, the desire, the aspiration to want to be reborn in Sukhavati.
Persinchi Dichevaina, any Chunde de Shishube Gabla, any Sajachilla, Linga Kibuchiorta, or Dinang Lola, any Miduzuta, Chamjan Judis and a Ju Chimbuchi Leche, Mimambola Sotani. Dichin any Chunde de la Titudi, Dicherogis, the Durogis, Shurua, and Chunde de Linga Dinana Pe, 안 좀된 되기 다 바게 팬에 엔 주디 디체바다 주코를 저비차 좀된 되기 질랍을 때네 신의 좀된 되기 추디 주디 추 렌체 아니 틸 페제 아니 다디 코는 교황하면 제 진길랍제 다디 키랑 딘디 차고에 키랑랑 기서버레스 다 키랑 줄리 계차등아 제 개민도 왔어 다 이내 키랑 할 대버제다 아니 류디네 타바 시그레스 디송네 엔 주디 교황하면 제 아니 좀된데라 가신도 체페네 아니 살리게 어딘데 니스 중래 다디 교가레 슈디칼라 아니 베스는 사보제 아니 롱겐딘데 온드자네 뻬 롱데네 콩도사네 뻬 콩도사보제 아니 디지디즈네 크레기 스르칭위치 망부지 아니 추디 링가디유사들 사자와라 배도 세와라 배니 다 시간 아무들 다 얘기 다 스르응이 되게 스틸 차네 시니 레디 밀라다 시당께 콩도께 디제 줄리제 레디 아니 사자 다가르는 게 고야디 되샤디 시간 아무다 뜰뜰 차네 시로와 사자 딜레 제니 코밀 소자고 요즘세디 가르스나 코 인기때르디 숨겨 지거다 바게 다 밀레 온드선 딩오그레 티니 파차디기 데리삼로지 레기 기로와 디치도 어딘데레샤 레던 되샤니기 파 제트에
There is one example that happens during the time of the Buddha. So when the Buddha was still around, there was a very nice garden, and many people actually go walking in that garden. But in that garden, there is a snake, and this snake will bite many people. So many people then went to the Buddha and say, "Please subdue this snake. It is causing harm to us." On that, the Buddha went to the garden, saw the snake, and blessed him such that he's not so ruffle in a very relaxed state. The Buddha then took the snake and placed it next to him, and then gave him the ability to remember his past life, and said that you have already taken the rebirth as a snake in this life. There's nothing I can do, but what you need to do is remember your past life and then do whatever virtues you can so that you can be free from this body of a snake. So under the blessings of the Buddha, the snake actually recalled his past life. And then, at the point of his death, he was very happy to see the Buddha, and because of the happiness, in his future life, he actually took a rebirth as a deva in the heavenly realm. So what happens in the snake's past life? This is what happened. In his previous life, he is a very stingy person, and when beggars come to him for money or food, he'll be very angry with the beggars and chase the beggars away. But he's very rich, and because of his stinginess, then he decided to hide his wealth underground. After he passed away, or at the point of his death, he actually had great attachment to the wealth that he had hidden underground. And because of the attachment to the wealth that he had hidden underground, because he is always a very angry person to other people, and that is the cause for him to take the rebirth as a snake. So that is the karma that is created for him to be reborn as a snake. And because of the attachment that he has to his wealth that's hidden underground, this snake is now reborn in this place that is near where he had hidden his wealth underground. And that's why he is biting many people, because he's afraid that the people will take away the wealth underground. So can you see how karma and attachment works together? The karma brings him to the rebirth as a snake, and the attachment brings him to this place where he had hidden his wealth. So therefore, the best method for you to reduce your attachment to this life will be to meditate on the impermanence of death.
but nangama sebo do kadu ne susu gi nyin chen yin ba susu gi ming yin ba susu ban ju long ji yin be so de shu ji le de go ro di le du zene shi ga la ma de le cha ba ji ji en shu chi mu ji cha du go.
So therefore, we need to meditate on the impermanence of death. Even if you cannot meditate on the law of karma and effect, what you can do is think in such a way that whatever relatives I have now, the name that I have now, the wealth that I have now, they are just mine to the point of death. So think of it in this way frequently. Generally, we know that after death, we cannot bring any of these things with us. But inherently, innately, we have this thinking that as long as space remains, these are my relatives, this is my name, this is my wealth. So this is an inherent kind of thinking that we have. So by recalling those are mine until the point I die, if we think of this frequently enough, at the point of death, the attachment we have to such things will not be so strong.
She said, Karichineche, Panjo Longi, Susu Yinsel Rana, Mitala Rana, Karichineche, Seji, Pagelu Tangshagina, and Shigalamo Suzuki, Dilla, seemed too much over Che, and Namkingi Suzuki, Wakari in a Dilla, short to Vela, and a Pendoyungruva.
It's only till the time I die. After death, whatever happens, happens. Whoever wants to take my things, let it take. Whoever wants to take my name or my reputation, let it take. Even if he is my enemy, it's okay. So basically, you give up, the things that you own, you have in this life, such that at the point of a death, they will not come and occupy your mind. Instead, what will come to your mind will be the virtues that you have done.
We need to Chadir, Mansugi, the Mizanti, Pajo Mizanti, La Puliario, and Pumkashi, Tashigalamo, and Pugu de la Mache, Tapage Mizanti, La Pum Tindiji, Lehe, Lenshoas, and Tending Agache, Shivuchi Gordi, and that D changing Pugu de Pagani Pulin de Sulerota. In a Suzuki Pacho de Licena, Sosol Jora, Sosol Jora Sarda.
In reality, this is what happens. Say if a family has lent some $100,000 to another family, so you have loaned $100,000 to another family. At the point of death, the father may tell the son, "You have to go to the other family and take back the $100,000 I have lent them." So you have to do it. So under the instructions of the father, the son went over to the other family, took back the $100,000. Yes, in this life you have got back the 100,000, but what the loss that you have got in your future life is even more than this 100,000 that you got back in this life, because you can't bring this $100,000 with you, and having the attachment to this will actually create some loss for you in your future life.
Dine ta dewajin du je gi dewaje la dewajin gi to zolo di nang gi cheje di zo ani ngeba che di yang sam. Dina Shinji Sanjay Bami Yunden to some Sambi Tone, Sanjay Bami Cherojana, Sambi Tumbadi, Yana Yandu, that the Geche, Molan Japse, one in the Tire, Mother Kane, the Molam Gitsiri Modo, Molam Slagmar, Member Sena Tuba Leguar, Tuba the Chancellor, that Yana Yang to Tuba the Ticheva Ina, any Shigalamo, that the 10 to H.
If you have the desire to be reborn in Sukhavati, then you should read the sutra on Sukhavati, on Buddha, on Amitabha Buddha, understand the characteristics of the Pure Land, and meditate or contemplate on it frequently. And also understand and contemplate on the qualities of Amitabha Buddha, and arise in your mind stream the aspiration that you want to see Amitabha Buddha. Do this very frequently. Meditate very frequently. This is what we say aspiration. This is what we say by doing your aspirational prayers. Sometimes we think by reading certain words, those are the aspirational prayers that we are making. No, they are just words. They are not real aspirational prayers. What it means by mulam or aspirational prayers is really your desire. So we need to frequently think about what I've said earlier, such that at the point of death, they will come to you.
제산다 디 nenden지네 장년도 저기 추준 유주자피 디 슈크디 여딩이지 다 대화진의 저 대화진의 상여음의 제구도 세기 다 상기 외밤에 군대의 취년 구구도 딘디기 다 됨버디 슈크디 카드이네 여딩이지 딘디 장거 다 대화지 저와이네 다 대화진의 주구여 삼바다고 딘디기 매바진의 장거.
For someone who is undertaking the training or learning the law of karma and effect, this person will have strength that will last him 24 hours. Because he will be always thinking, I want to go to Sukhavati, I want to see Amitabha Buddha, and once there, I want to receive teaching from Amitabha Buddha himself directly. So this kind of strength will be with him throughout the day, every time. And wherever he go, he'll be thinking, I'm going to Sukhavati.
제산 딘디 장제 아니 양양 장비 진기 바차샤네 밀람 능로레 땅아 대화진을 줘 세야더부 딘디 땅 투웨지 중바이나 아니 가진다 슈글레모다.
If you do this frequently enough, you'll be planting very strong imprints on your mind stream such that it is even possible for you to think that you're going to Sukhavati in your dream. When you have such dreams, then it means that you have a very strong, the strength of your desire is very strong.
시갈라마에 디텐토게rel라 버도기 내가서 하던도 나기 콤베왕기 버도기 내가서 디텐바이나 대화진을 줘 삼바이나 버도 류디 참어 인디산에 스테바 가와께네 딜레주르다.
And at the point of death, if you can remember that I'm going to Sukhavati, or even when you are in the state of Bardo, you can remember that you want to go to Sukhavati, then it is very high chance, because when you are in Bardo, your body is actually very subtle. As long as you have any desire, wherever you want to go, you can go because your body is very subtle.
ngatawen Singapore tro se teba diche ta in tigor ma to lu raba di lamsan le me ro sem de tro chane namju nang ne ba ting tigor wa teba di ti ro rang zo pha le chu le che de so ta in min jawa di gar sana par de ne ga zo lu raba me yin cha teba che ba da ta ran le chu wa.
Wherever we go is actually our desire that brings us there. Say if I want to come to Singapore, so it's because I have this desire to come to Singapore. Then I bring this body with me to Singapore. It's not as though once I think about going to Singapore, I can be there immediately. I have to physically bring this body to Singapore. So wherever we go, it is under the influence of our desire. But when you are in the state of Bardo, because you do not have this very rough body, the minute you arise the desire that you want to go to this place, you can go there immediately.
다 간들 아니 가수를 대화진도 다 당원버거 신가리나 딜레젤라 아니 주 숭네 간제 송도 다 차시 간제 띵고도 딜레 심주체니 다 강라 강점지 심주체레 엔디 제비 타만들라 아니 좀마 밥이 온데서네 가르차데 도세나 아니 당신기 내당 신 아니 신비 토네 다 람림 로존체 아니 파게 교화디 당신 랑고에 당 당신 내당 신비 토는 고에 디다 고통 많이 받체 저외찬에 람림 로존체디 다 당신의 집에 주 연나면은 차대셔 당신이 거래전에 시에대 참아 간지 람림 로존체바 있는 차사디나 내용 거다.
Anyhow, if you aspire to be reborn in Sukhavati or Abhirati, understand how to be reborn there, what are the causes to be reborn there, and what you need to be reborn there. Do your research, and at the end of your research, and I've done my research, at the end of my research, the conclusion that I arrive at is, first, understand the situation of the Pure Land, and then you need to study Lamrim, the stages of the path. After that, you should dedicate the merits or the virtues that have accumulated to be reborn in Pure Land. This dedication is really the uncommon aspect of your practice. But the common aspect of your practice would be lamrim, the stages of the path.
En lamrim lobjong chindu yue dingi chigi tsedila ta chaza chema tuba ina kiawa chema mutuni ta lamrim lobjong chiya samtang godu zane di mutuni yon tuba dila ta yaksho di ta dewa chinda ngomba kawe shingan lo kiya tuba ina di cha desha.
For a person who has a desire to study lamrim, the stages of the path, and if you think, I cannot complete my stages of the path studies in this life, I need to continue my study in the future lives. In order for you to continue your study in the future lives, then the best place for you to go will be the Pure Lands, Sukhavati or Abhirati.
That dijini tomdavudi dire, dina shinchigi dewajingi to keba tes keba di nanglo la gyu ta namjang dinde shi nga, ta chu domna nga davu songyor. Nga garsana kiwi zawa go duma ne saye sanje yueba me ta yang gome ane kiwa samje ta dewa jindu kibi gyula ngoye ane chanju ki semke ane sanje dewa jindu kiye ki dumba changayes o dinga la ya dom jabshayor.
In conclusion, it has been stated in the larger sutra of Amitabha that there are 4 or 5 causes listed there. Well, I can probably say there are 5. So what are they? They would be to accumulate merits through many doors, through many gates. Meditate on Amitabha Buddha and dedicate their virtues to be reborn in Sukhavati, to generate bodhicitta in a mind stream, and to train in arising your aspiration to be reborn in Sukhavati.
Wata di nanglo ne ta jerimuchi ki di la tishi jia ondu ane chanchu sem sunya di dewajin le kiye tekjen da teme nyi yuwe nanglo ne tekjen rikjen le kiye di ki ondu che ne chanchu sem sungpa res. Shenda shi di dewajin du kiye tekjen rikjen teme rikjen tsame tumong di res di sung re.
So of all these 5 of all the 5 causes here, Je Tsongkhapa Rinpoche has said that the need for you to arise bodhicitta in your mind stream, that is spoken for the purpose of people, for the purpose of the practitioners who belongs to the Mahayana lineage. The rest of the 4 are common methods for those who are in the lesser vehicle.
En di da nyamdo ane sanje yueba meki nambo kom sunye di yueba me kyang ma res. Di shingam ki kueba chasam kom go res, dindi sunyor.
At the same time, Je Rinpoche has said that, though it is said that meditate on Amitabha Buddha, but it is not just meditating on Amitabha Buddha, you need to also meditate on the Buddha land of Amitabha Buddha.
Jesan ta di tunji ki ondo chene kumgenji ina, ngelo kulonche sabe chela dewa jingi kueba dona sungshe ke sama dos temba che di ki la ane sanje yuba me da el chinri si da yun la sungshe sama tujin top kom be to ne sanje yuba me ki kusung tu ki yun den sam ta di chik che di sam sabe chela ta kiwi za go duma ne sa se de la ane yala dumbe to ne chosa tip chan che ane ngo se digi sabdela ane digi tamadela kiwi zawa tamche ane dewa jindu kiwi chulo ngo du chena ane tunji ki nanglo la chasang di cha rure.
So what you need to do if, say, you want to do your Pureland practice, in one session, this is how you can go about doing it. First, arise the motivation. And then you think about how Sukhavati looks like. What are the displays or the areas of Sukhavati? In the center is Amitabha Buddha, and he's flanked by Avalokiteshvara and Mahataspa Prapta. And then bring to your mind the qualities of Amitabha Buddha. After that, then you need to, we need to accumulate merits, the roots of virtues through many doors. So how we can do it is through the 7-limb prayer. So we can go through the 7-limb prayers. At the end of the session, we will do our dedication. Dedicate that whatever merits we've accumulated may that be the cause for us to be reborn in Sukhavati.
지금 다 상이 대화진기 신감 고매디 돌로니 검신기래 디체라 상이 밤에 구순 투기 윤된 대해디 수수 야부 신기면도나 람림기 겸로 가도들 따다 상지 구순 투기 윤된 소요 어디 외밤에 파차니 곰 아니 야나 듬바디 수수 신기면도나 람림기 고기 저유치루 가도들 야나 듬바 요래 어딜타나 아니 신루래 격에 돌려 윤나다 격에 돌라다 디 다다는 얘기 시셔 주나를 기두면 보여와 검당 세부진이 쉬어래.
In order for you to meditate on Sukhavati, you need to read the sutra because the sutra will have explained how it looks like. And then you need to, if you want to understand the qualities of the Buddha's body, speech and mind, then you can read Lamrim, the stages of the path. There's a section on going for refuge. That will be the section that has described the qualities of the body, speech and mind. That is in Lamrim, the qualities are described in respect of Shakyamuni Buddha, but you can actually, transfer or think that Amitabha Buddha has got the same kind of qualities. And then, in terms of seven limb prayers, if you're not familiar with that, you can also look at Lamrim, stages of the path. That's where the seven limb prayer practice can be found under the section that talks about preparation, the 6 preparational techniques. In Chinese, I'm sure it is also available in extended or in condensed version, so you can read about them. So in this, it is said that if a person has generated bodhicitta in the mind stream, then and you make the aspirational prayers to be reborn, there you will definitely be reborn.
산제 디야 랑싱메 보검제 딘디지기 이치지 깨네 이 검네 디치네 아니 몰라 잡아이나 디향에 버도 깨스 신다도 줄라 깨깨깨 마도 녜버도 깨깨제 되어 말이.
Similarly, it is also said that if you recall the qualities of the Buddha and at the same time you recall that the Buddha is lack of inherent existence, and you have belief in such lack of inherent existence of the Buddha and his qualities, and then you make your aspirational prayers, and that will be a cause that will bring you to be reborn in the Pureland definitely. So these are the 2 causes that will give you definite rebirth in the Pureland. Of the other causes that will give you definite rebirth has not been mentioned.
디나 신지 가뒤이네 nga sanji 톡보고도 세게 셈디 가뒤이네 슈디 여딩이 마체버체 딘디 여딩이 지기 아니 몰라 잡아이네 녜버도 깨스티요레.
And then there is also another cause that is mentioned, is that if you can at any point in time I need to think that I want to attain the state of Buddhahood, I need to attain the state of Buddhahood, and such thoughts, the strength of such thoughts is not diminished, but with great strength at all time you recall in this way, then that will be also a cause for you to gain definite rebirth in the Pureland.
디나 신지게 아니 소소 뽑아요 바체 슝딩이들이 많이 바체 디니 인신도야 심지 탐제라 소소 라마는 신지는 구샵제 통해 딘지기 아니 심슈지 깨네 디체바이나 디행이 버도 깨송요.
And if you're someone who has got great confidence, not someone with inferiority complex, and then you are able to offer the respect to all sentient beings, the similar respect that you can offer to your Lama, in doing so, that will also be a cause for you to gain definite rebirth in the Pureland.
심지 탐제라 아니 수수 라마다 상제는 신기 아니 구샵게 투베 로 칸데스 참고면 로 존나요.
To offer the same kind of respect to all sentient beings, the same kind of respect as we offer to our Lama or the Buddha, how can we train in such a way that can be found in the mind training text? So where can this be found in the sutra? It is in the Maharatna Kutta Sutra.
제선 딜레타네 섬당바이네 잠닝제다 돈이를 가즈지기 슈체와 예비 최기 파기계를 슈체로 주고도와.
If we look at all this, what does it tell us? It means that the more we can meditate on compassion, on love and compassion and the view of emptiness, the greater force that we have in getting our rebirth in the Pure Land. So in terms of the explanation, I will stop here today and we'll do a Q&A session. Okay, so the first question I have here is, even if we believe that we might be going to a better place after death, but we may still experience some physical pain or discomfort during the last moment before death, that result in having anger. How to prevent that from happening? Kisi nganzo shitpone such as yaga shikla dogi imbate iche yenayang. Na shika hamogapsu nganzo susu luma deva nata sukyapa dus chungbaina nganzo semla shedang leongires jezang di maleagi tapshikariena.
Shedang maleagi tapshi.
Shedang. Control.
다 control 말레기 탑시 시갈라모 control 말레 탑시신 수두지 개요 말와 남샤 균도네 때 준주스 수빌리고 나로라 균세 망베토네 수보금다 숨바나 신식이 냠레 제바이나 균된도디 냠레 제바이나 시갈라모디 지벌레 용구로와
어디라 탄다기 control yana shedang seatera control na shedang cheni ba mares kaisa so lu ma de ba ani so kya ba this di ma de be gengi this control langdro sik pa saya di chowa yora
이미 되와
이미 되와
맞다 지벌해 다 딘지 랍샤는 게
Okay, so at the point of death, it's not something that we can, do it by the side to prevent it from happening. It's something that we need to practice tolerance or forbearance, usually, even when we are alive. And that's where we can read chapter 6 on the Guide to Bodhisattva way of life. And they will give us the reasons for us why we should practice tolerance or forbearance.
지단의 균도네 아니 다 간제 냠레 숙청부 제등이 두수기 디지거를 변나 돈이 냠레 숙청부 제등이 지기 안 그리통네 다가랑 돈이 검제 디제온데 나잘레온데 나자 다가랑 돈만이 삼다야지 구금시 원기 딘질레 연구 다디 데스 칼레카가 유시 지잖아 다디는 신지기 닝지 냠레 존데 제등이 지기 균den도 남 춘단 춘섬지는 인지 공부 마세 아니 강에 그리테바이네 아니 디나시 심지 강에 팅신다 요래 디게디 아니 강에 모여쇼스 두신의 파 닝질의 파 자르샤 할버도야 네 강에 디도 춘중데 당에 손내기 나 강에 딘데지 마세나 네 손내 쟁이 두다 가르치고래 삼바지기 디 대온도잖아 수수 강에 디에 실기는 누구 아래 디냠도 닝지디에 냠도 깨용거와 지선다 균den기 냠내 다가랑 시간 남어 패용거
So if usually or normally you do your practice, then that will give you the strength. You can increase your strength. If a person were to normally engage in the practice of meditating on emptiness, whatever he or she sees, he will see it as empty of inherent existence. So even when the person is sick, he will see his sickness as empty, in lack of inherent existence. So this may be difficult for us to do, but if someone were to engage in the practice of compassion, whether during the meditation session or outside the meditation sessions, if do this, then what will happen is that when this person encounters difficulty, what will naturally come to his mind will be, other sentient beings will also meet with the same kind of difficulties that I am encountering now. So may they be free from such sufferings. So such thoughts come because of the practice that they engage in normally, usually. So especially when you think like this, you will see that whatever difficulties that you have now become smaller in perspective. And you think, if I can't even tolerate the difficulties that I have now, then what will happen if I am reborn in the lower realms? So in doing this, your own difficulties become smaller and you can arise the compassion for others. So this is something that we need to do on a, usually, normally, and not just, at the point of death.
강에 가르쳐봐야네 산지를 쏘아도 산지를 쏘아도 디 제용도 디 곰지 유왕기 시간을 강에 태운데 남사 산지 태운고래 버도 내가 수강에 태우네 남사 산지 태운고라.
For a person who engages in the practice of going for refuge in the Triple Gem, whatever difficulty he or she encounters, he will immediately supplicate to the Triple Gem, to the Buddha. And so therefore, because of his familiarity in this way, at the point of his death, he will recall the Buddha. And even at the state of the bardo, he will also recall the Buddha. I'm not sure how it is like in China, but in Tibet or in the Tibetan community, a lot of us have the habit of supplicating to the protectors of the mundane world. And whatever they do, when they want to start a business or start engaging in any work, they will actually supplicate to the mundane protectors. So this is actually very dangerous. Why? Because if they keep doing this, so out of familiarity, when they encounter difficulty, the first thing that comes to their mind will be the mundane devas and the mundane protectors. So therefore, you need to understand how to go for refuge. And in terms of the advices on what to do when we go for refuge, you can find them in the text. Okay, and then the next question would be, Dear Geshe-la, how to help animals go to Pure Land after they have completed their current life? Are there any practice we could do to help them? Ganti dire, Tidila, Dundogi, Giwalemba Tintogi, Konso Chipone, Takshinla, Giwalenya Tapshi Karayores, Lingo Nanso Gingone, Consola Ropa Chiagi, Nyamlen Yena.
Tangazugi. 콘조 다신을 계기 탑시 다신을 계보다 다신 규주보래 다신 규디게디 다기네 셰데 유드조 콘조라 간지스티테 투그래.
So we want to help them to be reborn in Pure Land, and I've just spoken about the causes that we need to cultivate or accomplish to be reborn there. So of all these causes, how can the animal accomplish them? So generally it's going to be difficult because even for our own self, it's going to be with some difficulty, and yet we want to help others, and that person that we want to help is an animal.
이네 코로나 기왕하면 대화진을 계획이 레사여버체 이네 딜레 떡체와 둔줄을 계 레지다 시간라면다 둔 차신다 딘지기 젬비 둔줄을 계 등이 있나 저 대화진을 계 레디 요르와 내가 딘지기 와라 안쪽이 아니 크이치도 말아 저 거기 암조라 산지기 챙아 Tanghe Tabuda, or Tintiki Chebaina, Yang Quigin Cup did the young Sigro, Quiki, or the dead Sushi Dosharwa, Tintiki Jembe, Narsabiki, or the Lasue Tabje, Tintiki, Tintiki Chashigi Toner, Roboche, Tinti Yon Sibare.
But if this animal has already accumulated some roots of virtue in his previous life, it's just that at his point of death in the previous life, the karma for him or her to be reborn as animal is stronger, and that's why he then takes a rebirth as an animal in this life. So if the animal has got, the roots of virtue to be reborn in Sukhavati, he has the karma to be reborn there. So under such a situation, what we can do is that for him to be reborn in Pureland, we can, do the aspirational prayers on his behalf, recite the name of the Buddha for him to hear, so that his root of virtue can increase, the strength of the virtues can increase, and quickly ripen whatever virtues that he has already accumulated in his previous life. This is the kind of help we can do for them.
Kalate Savichela, and Shine Peggy the Nyati Yusala, Tenjil Todite, Tenjiki Toditens and Echum, the teaching of Tajum was Rinji Tudrich and the Chaselos, D. Sendi Church, and D. Jela, D. Gengi, and Yatiki, the Chivichela, and Salakeva, the Donalungus Yori.
There is a case that's been mentioned in the sutra where there's actually a history stated there. So this is what happens during the time before Buddha attained Buddha, before Shakyamuni Buddha attained enlightenment. So when he was still a sentient being before he attained enlightenment, he actually saved a lot of fishes from being killed, and after saving them, he gave them food. Thereafter, he went to the place where the fishes are, and he started reciting the sutra on dependent origination. And then he recited the name of Supreme Crown Buddha and said, Sangye Rinchen Zuzo Jenla Chazalo. So I prostrate to the Buddha of Supreme Crown. And thereafter, when the fish pass away, or they actually take rebirth as devas in the heavenly realms.
Dina Shinji Don Mangbe Lola, and it Tundro Dinti Shiro Chidu, and it Chugi Tumshi Tempi Todi. Dujitanji Medava Sajetam Jutunga, Tim Sungeda, Tintigi Sungje, Tichela, Milake Rabana, Tinti Lucites Yori.
And it has also been stated in many sutras that for animals who are about to pass away, if they hear the sutra on the four Dharma seals, all contaminated objects are impermanent, and all this, the four verses, if they can hear it, then what will happen after the death is that they actually take rebirth as human beings.
Wanzuki ta Tundrola ti Peke Chimbuto, Wazungu Kaleke Yomarti, in a Korangwina Pendo Chimbu Shivu Charu Warda. Pekes Tundre Amjola, Sanji Sere, Dore, Tizuma, Lutuba Chedi.
So if this is the case, then it is really very important for us to help the animals. For us, it is not a lot of difficulty on our part, but it will bring great benefits to the animals. So we can recite the name of the Buddha, recite the sutras for them to hear. All right, and then the next question will be, each of us has been through countless rebirths, so likely we are already connected by someone who has attained Buddhahood in Pure Land. If so, why hasn't he appeared to help us? Okay, I will just repeat the question again. Each of us has been through countless rebirths, so likely we are already connected by someone who has attained Buddhahood in Pureland. If so, why hasn't he appeared to help us? Kani dire, nganzo thoma ne kyo mambo len yue song zang, nganzo riri ne, kyo thoma ne, kyo mambo len yue song zang, jizang. Mi chiki takshin la sangi go pang top te tan dewa cha ngi par tu cha yore. Di nang shi pena shashana mare pena shashana semjin tamjin nganzo ma chi nyang yo ba. Di nang shin nganzo kiwa mamo len yue song zang di nang ne nganzo tan dewa chiki takshin la nganzo tan dewa yo ba chiki takshin la sangi go pang top cha yores. Te ina kare chine mi te nganzo la ropa chiga le yo mares.
Ta nye le chilo cha yo re se di jidang chilo yueba zingi ropa che tuwe deskal habu insar.
Well, yes, even though there is some form of relationship, but just by the mere fact that you are related, it will be difficult for him to just come and help us.
Tanda pagi chilwa chana roba che se di peche tanang sebu dada che ma sundi changshu sem kye chane. Changshu sem kye chabi che la ane kiwa kharche ba ina kwe chidu susu tong te ten re ki simje changma lo la pen toya ki nguwa di che nguwa rwa. Di ki shuki di wangi ane chilwa yuze changma lo la pen to che tuwe chi chilwa mengen di la ane pen to che kaka chi. Keje dire mato tsewe da dagi labani phuma pinja da dindri che chilwa de da nangane mambu che sarwa desam keje inza mare.
From what I have read, so when you have the relationship and you're able to help others, this is sometimes this topic or this kind of thought that crosses our mind is in respect of a bodhisattva who has generated in his mind stream the bodhicitta. So when bodhicitta has been generated in his mind stream, and whatever person he has seen, whatever he has heard, and if he were to dedicate the merits to them, then he is able to help them more than those that he has never met before. So this is more like some kind of relationship of the conditions or influences the dedication that the bodhisattva makes. But just by, the tamate pamata jik song song.
Pama chenyung re, ta chenyung re, tindi chilwa di, tanda sanji ki chilwa yunang penta tu se keje di samares.
Okay. So when we say that just because we have relationship, the Buddha is able to help us, I think it doesn't apply to the fact that, how everyone has been our mother before, everyone has been our enemy before.
Ta di gang la pena nyama jiwa chi chungyung, ta samlo tami ro koye kabla. Ta sanje chanju semba tene nyingji che mongbo yore, tamji chingu yore, chulba chulyo nyuba yore, ngechi du chulba ji karchini matri ina sechi.
Previously, a thought or question that come to me when I was, having many thoughts in my mind. So I asked myself, there are many Buddhas, many Bodhisattvas, and they have all great compassions. Why is it that none of them has manifested in front of me for my purpose?
Di che di zan la yangjo di che la tiwa chi khari le resana. Ale di la ba la di ke che di tiwa la nge la tanda roba che di ngi ki gen da che ro da mongbo che yore. Di sangye tiwa ma re sin kandis ta che ga se chi. Ani shine ani tiwa di ko sha ro ma re che di tiwa che khari na ma ti na se chi.
Then the next question that comes to me is, perhaps the first question I need to ask is, the teachers and the friends who are helping me now, how do I know that they are actually not the manifestations of the Buddha and Bodhisattvas? If I can ascertain that they are not the manifestations of Buddha and Bodhisattva, then I can ask the question, why, for my purpose, they have not come to me?
다 산지 외바미기 대화진기 도기 다 디테시 마 잡디 제들라 산지 외바미기 진기 말라나 디시 두 말했는데도.
So in the sutra, it's been said that, when you when expositions on Amitabha Buddha, on his Buddha land, all these explanations, in order to give all these explanations, it must be under the blessings of Amitabha Buddha. Without his blessings, it is not possible to provide such detailed explanations.
Jine ane roba macheba khari inas la roba che se di susu gujo chuni jamago che ane tus che jina khari ina labchorwa. Roba che se di phajoni kenji che zo susu shukja buwarwa.
When we said why they are not offering help to us, so perhaps we can look at it in this way. If we are in the situation where we can't even do anything, we can't even move, then yes, why don't you come and help me? But if we are not in that kind of situation, then really the kind of help we're looking for is more like a condition to whatever we need to achieve. But the main bulk of the work still needs to be done by us. Okay, so this is it for this question. And then, okay, do you have any questions? Okay, the question is, do we really have a choice in terms of consciousness to choose the parents and to where you take rebirth? Example, your country or your house. Okay, kanti dire, namshi ki tok ne, nganzo ngone, tam nga yuena, soso ki pama tam ya tang, kawala, kiwa lenya, pena shashana, gekap lenya, gekap tela, kiwa lenya, na kamba tela, kiwa lenya, nganzo, tam nga yuena, nganzo tam to kiri ah.
Tadi, nganzo do mi juma jigi. Tadi tamba ina tagi laba na shinchi chashi tingba ina sonam sa dibata penata pajo misang de la che gu do sambe ta tindi de ba yona ke khab digi misang de la che gu samba yona ke khab la na tes le la gre misang la na tes kal khag ro ta kang jara ya ke gu do samba yena tele shimbi ta ke wa de sha dindi ji yö sa de tele labe de wa chen da tele ke je she mo go che nyinga ge me ba che di 로아 대화진이 기기를 선비다 도바 먹어체 당연 손당 신달라 마드레기 내님발라 마드레기 다길라바나 신기 디소체 아니 밀레체 투베기 아니 소놈드조사 디간라 다몰람 기토네다 인기갑디다 아니 미상딜레 제워쇼스는 몰란 자유나 기갑드우지나 피지기 투구르다 딘데기 저디도 차상 제유나 자주 구주 고구스 페지 타제니 랍토구리 제토구리 미상도 위키 वर्षो लावा이나 ते스뇨다 사버레 그래서는 수수응은에 몰람 차선 창여바이네 파주 미상들 부제 얘기 디메나 부제 투베기 다 파마르메나 게마 상바로와 디용야요 마로와 게갑도 위키지셰바이나 딘디게마 상바 페치라고 마로와다 겐지라기로와 칠로네 수수응은에 튕겐상나 칠로네 겐지라디 다 제주 급주 땡케르다.
For an ordinary being like us, if we want to, aspire to be reborn in a certain place, then that's where we need to, accumulate the merits and also to reduce the negativities that we have committed. So in terms of wanting to be reborn in a certain country and family, it is possible. It is perhaps easier to be, to aspire to be reborn in a country, and it's perhaps more difficult to aspire to be reborn in a particular family. But anyhow, other than, so we talk about the desire and attachment. If we, so now you do not have the aspiration to be reborn in the Pure Land, then you need to make sure that you are not reborn in the lower realms. So what you need to do is aspire to be reborn as a human being, and then accumulate the merits to do so, and then do your aspirational prayers to be reborn in that country, in that family. So this is possible, and you have done all the preparation. You probably have a chance of 99% to be reborn as per your aspirational prayers. I said earlier on that it is more difficult or it's a bit more troublesome if you problematic to be reborn in a certain type of family. Why? Because to be reborn there, you need to have the cause. Say for example, if in that family that you want to be reborn in, there is no father and mother, then you are missing a condition for you to be reborn then. And without this condition, you cannot be reborn there. But if you say, I want to be reborn in this particular country, then in that country, somehow or other, you will have the condition to be reborn in one family there, right? So, if you have done your preparation, then the chances will be 99% that you can be reborn there. When a person dies, how long does the consciousness stay with the present body? 米这个细产呢，那么些那驴能落拉地下的九人落地下的。
他就对你不给有什么嘞？忙切的你们送子的一个人，忙不起你们送子的对吧？忙呢，没拍吧伊呢？ Well,
there's no one single definite duration, but usually it's 3 days. So for ordinary beings like us, the most number of days that the consciousness is staying with the present body is 3 days. For those practitioners, they are able to recite. They are able to recite in tuktam, a special meditative state. Then the consciousness can remain in the body for about 21 days. The 21 days is actually something that we can see, or rather, is a recent example that we know. Geshe-la has mentioned that one is not able to practice forbearance in Pureland yesterday. We were taught that to achieve Buddhahood, we should practice the 6 parameters. So without being able to practice forbearance, how does one still able to achieve Buddhahood in Pureland? Kasang gen kerang ki takshin la yebe kap so di soba jaya ki kokap yo mares kesi te yin na nganzo sang ge go bang top ya la parchin truk ki nyamlen chegores parchin truk lak gores kesi sobe nyamlen parchin sobe nyamlen jang ma top ina ani takshin la sang ge go bang kandi top tu gires.
Seba la duzane machine ta test ta chik biji chi dang lai chi ba sho do re seba la dungne dang lai gi seba chela ngi sim gi seba ne je la chi me nya me seba sum yo re ta dang dang ngel khazan la ya di sun ne ba ji ne seba ko me nam ji yong da chik di biji chi ma wa seba kom la du nam ji pe be na lo la o di ki ji shi go re chen tin di ta chong he ko ko shi ta me ba ta bo re.
When I said forbearance, the lack of opportunity to practice forbearance yesterday, actually forbearance is a term, but within forbearance itself, there are certain 3 categories of forbearance. Like the first one would be volunteering yourself to take on difficulties and be tolerant of those difficulties. And then the second one would be if someone were to harm you, you be tolerant to the person's harm. And then there will be a third type of forbearance. So the type of forbearance that I'm talking about yesterday is the type where if someone were to hurt you, you practice forbearance to that person. So for this type of forbearance, we do not have much opportunity to practice in Pure Land. Yesterday, I did not say out the full name or the full description of the type of forbearance that I'm referring to. I was just using the general term forbearance.
Ani tashin la jebe ta chunju samba digi de matabi shin la phe dhwa di di kabla ani kokab rasi gre di kharre sina do din din lo la ani sangye sha youtube gi shwe sung du chunju samba tashin ne chunju samba din de chu phe yong du sanje du su gi phage dhwa ina sabsa che gore phage gi simjin du su ani pe lung cha bo da din gi ta din gi din de yo res o din gi kalom na ya din de yong de do.
So even if there's no opportunity to practice such a forbearance in Pure Land, for the bodhisattvas who have been reborn in the Pure Land, they do travel to the imperfect worlds, the imperfect lands, to listen to the Dhamma. And when they do that, they will have the chance to practice such forbearance. Why do I say that? Because it is said that Shakyamuni Buddha had given advices to the bodhisattvas. He told them, when you travel to the imperfect worlds or the imperfect lands to listen to the teachings of other Buddhas, you have to be careful because the sentient beings there can be very angry. So you need to be careful about them. When we talk about completing our parameter of generosity, we are not talking in the perspective of counting, the amount of generosity that you have given. We're not completing the parameter of generosity from a quantitative perspective. So then what is the perfection of the generosity? So it's really at the point of you giving something to someone else. It is the mind that you give without any sense of loss. It's the mind that you want to develop such that it is very vast and you give without any sense of loss or attachment to the people that you're giving to. And that is what we mean by perfecting your generosity parameter. If that is the case, then of course it will be very good if the beggars are around for us because there will be the conditions for us to practice giving. But if the beggars are not available, then what we can do is that we just, in our mind, think about the objects that we want to give and who to give to, and in that way we can train our mind. And if we have the wealth or the ability to give, that will be very good. If we do not have, it's okay. We just imagine or visualize that we have all these items and we are giving them away. The main objective here is to train our mind to give. The mind of giving must be very strong and to give without any sense of loss. So similarly, when we practice the perfection of forbearance, we will then visualize that there is someone there who is causing harm to us. And if the person, no matter how much harm the person has caused us, we will not retaliate and cause harm to that person. By thinking in this way, over and over again, we are able to complete our practice of forbearance. And if there is really indeed such a person who is causing harm to us, and we can practice in reality, the strength will be even greater. Okay, so that would be my answer to your question. And this will also end the teaching, the 3 days teaching that we have on Pure Land in Tibetan Buddhist Center. So for whatever virtues and merits we've accumulated for the past 3 sessions, let's all do the dedication together. The dedication verses can be found on page 301, verses 59 and 60. Page 301, verses 59 and 60. Born from an extremely beautiful superlative lotus, in this joyful land, the Buddha's magnificent mandala, may I receive a prediction of my awakening directly from the Buddha Amitabha. Having received a prediction there, may I create vast benefits for beings throughout the 10 directions with 1 billion emanations by the power of wisdom.